Hello everyone and welcome back. This video is going to be kind of short, but we're going to just review some Hot Wheels CrackUps, some vintage stuff here. These are pretty much in rough condition. We do have a bunch of them that actually work, which is pretty cool based on their age and what their purpose was. So we'll review them. Let's get started. Alright, we'll start off with the best ones first, and then we'll work our way through them. So these guys here, if you're not familiar with CrackUps, they're around basically from 85, I believe, is when they were released. So somewhere in that era. These are all Hong Kong bases. Like I say, the condition on these isn't great, but considering they were built to be crashed into each other, they're not too bad. So basically in here, the way they work, you can see it's got this front lip, so they all have different parts that crash, like doors, trunks, and even roof. So what you would do essentially is crash these together. I can make it pop, and then you would have some front end damage. Okay, so this is basically the same one with it retracted. These oftentimes these plastic hoods are gone. As you can see, this one's pretty weak, but that's what holds it together. So when you push this back up, you kind of push the hood down and it holds it. So when you were to crash these cars together, you get front end damage. This one here, again, same vehicle, just in black. And this one here, same information on the base, again, all Hong Kong. So like I say, condition's pretty poor on these, but I got them for relatively inexpensive price. I don't actually have any because they're hard to find and they typically hold their value, so I thought I'd pick these up just to add to the collection. This one actually works as well, which is pretty sweet. So again, you just simply push this up and the hood holds it. And since these pieces are plastic, you'll see on the next ones coming up, they're often missing, broken, because these were obviously designed to be smashed together. But if you haven't seen CrackUps, there's two. Next up we have the Fire Chief vehicle. This one was quite popular. So we'll flip to the base. I haven't actually spent any time cleaning. You can see the axle's kind of bent and it's got a bunch of corrosion. It's probably used outside. But again, Hong Kong base. All metal castings on these. So you can see here, this one is a crack up on the side door. You can see on the opposite side, just looks like normal. It's got the little light bar there. Tampo work is pretty much gone, but this one's a little trickier. Sticks a bit, but you can see there, it looks like if you were to run a car into it, that would pop open. And this one here, these ones here, compared to these guys, were a little bit more durable because this is an all metal construction here instead of the plastic hood holding the damaged part. So these ones did, they seem to last a little bit longer, but obviously you can see most of the damage is obviously on the side where you were ramming another car into it. So, but that was its purpose. That's what these were made for. They had I don't know, 2 or 3 sets of these, like track sets, and I mean its sole purpose was for you to run these and crash them into each other. So, but this one here is pretty desirable, and I mean, we all know what it is, being the Fire Chief. Very cool. Up next, this one here, I don't know exactly what, I don't really collect a lot of the fantasy stuff. I was going to look up these models before doing this video, but I'm sure anyone watching will probably know what these models are. So Hot Wheels Hong Kong. Very cool. Looked like it had some pretty nice tampo work in the day anyway. It's pretty beat up, but this one here, again, you can see it. Very cool. Looks like a Z1. Very cool. It has the, this one here is a bit sticky, but it doesn't like to open, but I mean, years of abuse. It's pretty much what you'd expect, but very cool. I was, like I said, I was quite excited to be able to even just find these and actually have them. I mean, they somewhat work, which is absolutely awesome. I'll try to find some in some better condition, but these just came around. It was local to me, which was perfect. Didn't have to order online, didn't have to do shipping, none of that. Just simply just go pick it up. Yeah, this one here, it sticks on the window a bit, but pretty neat. All right, up next we got the pickup truck. This one here was very, very popular. It's missing quite a bit. Show you the base first. Very, very cool. Some sort of Chevy truck, I would assume. Maybe an S10 or something. But very, very cool. It's all metal. Why these stay in such good shape when they're vintage. So this one here would have had a topper. So a plastic topper would have came down to here, which actually holds in the crash piece here. So the topper would have came down and it goes over top of this middle metal tab here. And when this was to get hit, it would crash this and then this lid would fly off. So of course the plastic pieces, like I said, always are missing, but that's the crash part. Pretty neat. And it does actually say truck on the back, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Awesome piece. I was quite happy to get this one. I would love to find the piece of the topper or one that's in a better shape. I love the trucks. All right, we got 3 here. These ones here are probably in the worst shape, although some of the tampos, like on this one for instance, tampo work is pretty good. It's actually not too beat up. I mean, you got wear marks and whatnot, but actually is in relatively good shape. And there you go for the base if you want that. So again, this would have been very similar to what you see with the plastic hood. It's just it would have had a plastic window on the back, which would have held down this piece here. So right now there's nothing to hold it, but you know, it would look like rear, and then smash would look like that. But that piece of plastic is missing, and on this style, it's the only thing that holds this mechanism. That's why I mentioned before on the fire chief, the mechanism inside was metal and it didn't rely on a plastic piece to hold it. So they used a actual metal framing and everything in there, and the mechanism is just a spring loaded, so I mean it wears out over time. But neat little vehicle. And then we got a side impact one. This one here, it does sort of, you can see it doesn't, it's supposed to be up like that. It doesn't quite stay there, but it's also quite beat up. But oh yeah, this one doesn't work too well, but that's what it looked like, crashed up. Kind of neat. And then this one here was actually pretty cool to get. You don't see a ton of this model. So this one is where the roof crashes. This one completely doesn't work, but so this would sit like that, and you would actually flip it on its roof, and then when it landed, it would show it's all squished. So even though it doesn't work, it is pretty cool example of what they made back in the day. I mean, they don't build stuff like this, you know, completely all metal construction for the most part. And again, these are all Hong Kong bases. These were pretty much going to be from 1985 era here, but very, very cool. Was quite excited to pick these up, even though they're in rough shape. I mean, you got to remember, these from 85, these things are getting quite old. So I mean, even the condition they're in, considering they were designed to be smashed, is pretty decent. I have a fair amount of vintage stuff as well, so if any of the viewers out there are interested in vintage stuff, we can dig some of that out and review it. I like reviewing everything, new stuff, old stuff. It doesn't really matter what it is, anything diecast related. I'm pretty much into. So if there's anything you'd like to see, you can leave the comment below. Alright, so that's all I have for the CrackUps. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this video. These three here would be my favorite to find in mint condition for sure. Hopefully everybody enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye.